Hey everyone, it's Tom here with thisonlineworld.com. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. So as someone who's probably tried dozens of side hustles over the past few years, I think there's a ton of value in being able to make a bit of extra cash when you need it most. And I mean, there's also studies and surveys out there that show things like millionaires on average have a few different streams of income, or financially successful people have a few different ways they make money. And seeing as we're unfortunately entering some tougher economic times, I think being able to make extra money on the side is really gonna matter for a lot of people, and it's just a good skill to have. So in this video, I'm covering 10 plus popular side hustles and some lesser known ones and ranking them on a good old fashioned tier list. So I'm gonna be including some side hustles you might not have heard of before, as well as some of the most popular ones, and ranking them from S tier, which is the best, all the way down to F, which is like, just do not try that side hustle if it gets an F score. Anyways, guys, if you're ready to make some money and find which side hustles are good and which ones are bad, this is the video for you, so let's get right to it.
All right, guys, so we've hopped over to this little tier list I've made using tiermaker.com, and we got a lot of side hustles to get through. So just in case you've never seen one of these tier lists before, S tier is the best, and then it descends, A, B, C, D, E, all the way down to F, which means you should never try that side hustle. But yeah, let's jump right into it. We're gonna start off with Lime scooter charging. This one involves picking up these scooters you probably see in a bunch of US cities and charging them overnight and then putting them back onto the street. So what's really cool, and we're gonna check out this blog post from Financial Panther, is you can make some decent money charging Bird and Lime scooters. So you pick them up, you bring them home, charge them overnight, and then you drop them back off at charging stations. And you can see here, so this is from Charging Bird Scooters. It's very, very similar. So he's making, $18 one day, charging 4 scooters, $5 for charging one. One day he charges 11 Bird scooters, it makes $47. So he's making like $20 to $40 a day just scooping up these scooters and charging them. And as he explains in his blog post, he basically picks them up on his way home from work because it's along his commute, charges them, and then drops them off a bit early once he's going back to work the next day. So I thought it was pretty cool, and you can see here he actually made $1,000 one month from Lime, like $1,000 charging scooters. Like he made $100 one day charging 18 Lime. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, in terms of where to rank this, there's kind of some pros and cons. You have to live in a city where scooter charging is a thing, so that's kind of a negative. And on top of that, you have to factor in electricity costs, which is probably going to eat away at your profit margin a little bit. And it's also kind of time intensive, like you're picking up scooters, charging them, dropping them off again. If it's along your commute, it's honestly a sweet side hustle. If it's not as good. I think I'm going to give it a B, might reevaluate later on, but that's my ranking for now. Okay, and side hustle 2, I couldn't make a side hustle tier list video without this one, but it's Amazon FBA. So selling merchandise through the Amazon FBA program. And if you don't know what Amazon FBA is, it's basically where you buy merchandise, you ship it to Amazon fulfillment centers, and then when you get orders, Amazon's the one that fulfills it, not you. And this has been pretty much like all the rage within the last, 5, 6, 7 years kind of thing. Like anyone who sells on Amazon is always saying FBA. This is how retail arbitrage sellers often make their money. And one thing I wanted to highlight that I think a lot of people don't know is that if you look at Amazon seller statistics, so there's already about 10 million Amazon sellers globally, but 73% of them use Amazon FBA. Like this is such a busy, competitive space. Now, I actually interviewed a couple making money with Amazon FBA on This Online World, and you can see within 30 days, they're making 40 grand a month in revenue, not profit. The profit margin's much lower. Remember, it's Amazon FBA, but you can scale this kind of retail arbitrage business, very, very well. And as you can see here, this is the stuff they're shipping over to Amazon warehouses, like just boxes and boxes of merchandise from Kohl's and Walmart. The scalability is quite high, although the thing is the barrier to entry, because you need money to buy all this inventory, and the competition are two massive, massive downsides. Because of the competition, because you need to invest money up front into this side hustle, I'm giving it a D. Okay, and side hustle number 3, it's an automatic S tier. It's actually to go over to my YouTube channel and to smash the like button and to subscribe. So that's S tier. Had to throw that in there, but yeah, that's number 3, S tier. If you guys could support the video, that's always great. Okay, and side hustle number 4 I wanted to talk about is print on demand selling, and specifically using companies like Printify or Printful, making merchandise and then selling it on e-commerce platforms or marketplaces like Etsy. Now, this is actually a side hustle I tried back in college. I sold meme mugs. They looked absolutely awful. I made like 1 or 2 sales and then I got a copyright claim. It was just a mess. But what I really like about Printify in particular, and they're the provider I've used in the past, is it's actually very easy to use. Their design tool is pretty sweet, and so I'll show you that right now. You actually just go to Printify, you make an account for free. They have shirts, backpacks, hoodies, all the kinds of different merchandise, phone cases. I'm going to pick mugs in this example, and you just hit start designing, and this is going to bring you into their design tool. And from there, all you have to do is just upload your image that you want on your products. And I have no graphic design capabilities. You could hire someone to do this, or you could do it yourself. I'm just gonna say, let's pretend I made, some kind of vector image and I'm actually artistic, which I'm not. Obviously, this is not like the highest quality image. It's not a great example, bear with me here, but yeah, you pretty much just put it onto your design. You can then preview it, and boom, I have now made a awful caveman SpongeBob mug. Oh, look at him. It's kind of nice with some hot coffee and cookies and stuff. But yeah, if I had any graphic design talent, I could make mugs and sell them on Etsy. And that is what some people are doing. Like, I found this one shop on Etsy, South Pacific Shop. They have 258 sales, so it's a newer, smaller shop, but look at what they're doing. This is a Printify or, Printful Etsy mug shop. And really, this isn't that complicated. Like The Walking Dad, that's just clever. Like, you could make this on Paint or Photoshop. You could hire someone on Fiverr to make it for you for $5. You can get very creative here, and that's what I love about Printify and Etsy selling in general. It's just something that rewards creativity. There's no barrier to entry. I mean, Printify's free, and again, there's like dozens and dozens of categories of products you can sell with Printify. So I think it's very, very cool because it's flexible, because it rewards creativity, and because it's super fun as well. I think it gets a high rating. The only downside is it's not fast cash because it takes time to actually scale your store. So I'm giving this one a B tier just because of that time requirement. Okay guys, and so the next side hustle idea on this tier list is car wrapping gigs. And you might have seen these advertised before or heard of companies like Wrapify before. And a lot of bloggers talk about them and YouTubers talk about them as ways to make passive income just by driving. And it sounds pretty cool, at first glance. Basically, the idea is companies will pay you to wrap your car, and then you just have to drive around, and you're basically a moving billboard for these different companies. Really, how much Wrapify pays you depends first on how much you wrap your car. So you can be a complete billboard for Cricut, like in this example. You could do a partial one. I don't even know if that will load. The thing is with these car wrapping gigs, there's a ton of scams out there. There's a lot of them that are fake, and they say, oh, you have to pay to wrap your car. If you ever see that, huge red flag. The premium companies in this space will never ask you to pay to wrap your car. But the real main drawback with these wrapping gigs is there are so many terms and conditions you have to meet to get paid. You have to drive a certain amount per month. You have to drive along a certain commute. If you take time off work or you're not driving as much for whatever reason, you might just not get paid. Your car looks horrendous, which personally I wouldn't really care about. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, whatever. There's just way too many hoops to jump through, and honestly, it's just a headache, and there are so many scams out there, like I mentioned. So giving this one an F, I would never recommend this to anybody, and I hope you don't fall for one of the scams if you decide to go for a car wrapping gig. Okay guys, and so the next side hustle, again, I couldn't not make a tier list and not talk about this one, is dropshipping. And like Amazon FBA, this was all the rage over the last few years, and it's still super popular, and there's all kinds of YouTube videos out there like how to make money with Shopify dropshipping and all these things. So I actually tried this back in college as well. I launched a Shopify dropshipping store. I added about 30 products, ran some Facebook ads, and I actually made a sale. Yeah, and then set up my store. So this is actually what it looks like. The store's not live anymore. This was back in 2018, 2019, but it was called buyhuntinggear.com. I sold scopes and accessories and all these things, boots. And it actually was very easy to launch the store. And then I made a Instagram page, which you can see here. I don't know if the page still exists. Maybe it does. I had a coupon code, my website down there. I would basically spam follow people and get them to follow my page. So this was back in the day of theme pages being very popular. And really, I was just sourcing products off of Alibaba and AliExpress. So, this kind of cheap hunting gear type of stuff, like ghillie suits and stuff like that, like, boots and things like that. It was honestly a ton of fun. I was just too broke to really pay for ads at the time and to pay for Shopify. And so really, that's kind of why I wanted to segue, costs of dropshipping into this actual ranking. Dropshipping isn't as free as people think. You have to really spend money testing ads and testing products. And so as a side hustle, if you need money fast and you're kind of trying to dig yourself out of a financial hole, do not try dropshipping. It's not free and fast money. You have to spend money to make money. And there's also a very steep learning curve. It's kind of as challenging in many ways as Amazon FBA. And the costs are a bit lower, which is kind of why I considered ranking it as a C, but the world of advertising is so challenging, and finding winning products is getting harder and harder. It's very saturated. So I'm going to give this one a D, but I would love to know your thoughts in the comment if this is fair or not, because this is one I was kind of on the fence about. For the next side hustle, we're talking about paid gaming reward apps. So these apps that all advertise, you can play games on your mobile phone or on your PC and earn free gift cards or PayPal cash. So we're on Misplay here, and Misplay is pretty much the leader in the gaming app space. It's the most popular app for Android. And I've actually tested this app a lot. I have a review on thisonlineworld.com. I played it for a few hours, and it does honestly do what it advertises. You download a bunch of games from your mix list, you play them, Misplay tracks your achievements in game and your overall play time, pays you with small amounts of points, and you cash those in for various free gift cards. And so I actually have a recent video on my channel, 5 legit ways to play games to earn money, that getting quite a few views, so I guess people are interested in this stuff. And I cover Misplay and a bunch of other similar apps. And really, the thing with Misplay and this whole genre of apps is, again, they do what they say. You'll play games and you will eventually earn free gift cards, but you're looking at like maybe $5 a week in gift cards if you spend a decent amount of time playing. I don't think it's a good side hustle unless you already spend a lot of time gaming. In that case, it's kind of like almost semi-passive income, but as an outright side hustle for making money, I'm giving gaming reward apps an E. Okay guys, and so for the next side hustle, it was another auto-include category. I couldn't not talk about this, and it's basically working for food delivery apps or grocery delivery apps, think DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Instacart. And this is honestly one of the most contentious side hustle categories, I would say, because people either love these apps and swear by them, or they think they're the worst. And so I just wanted to start out by saying, like, DoorDash will advertise you can make $23 per hour. If you look at Indeed, it says $13 per hour. My good friend Grant worked for both Uber Eats and DoorDash in Toronto. He made about $20 per hour on his bike. And you can see here, the really interesting part is the average is 13, but the low is 725, and the high that was reported is 4135. And so your market matters a ton with how much money you can make. Very small towns, slow markets, you're probably making under minimum wage or around minimum wage. But if you work in a very busy city, you deliver at peak times, you get lucky with tips or peak pay or things like that, you could make $15 to $20 per hour pretty comfortably and pretty reliably. Overall, this category is probably the most flexible side hustle, and it's also one where you could sign up and within 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long the background check take, start making money. And a lot of other side hustles actually have a very long ramp up period. And so I'm going to get so much hate if I give it an A, but honestly, the thing is with food delivery gigs as a side hustle, they're just so flexible and they let you make money very, very fast, which most side hustles ironically don't. I think I'm gonna give them an A, and I know I'm gonna get flack for this. You have to think about the flexibility. And again, if you live in a big city, you could hop on your bike and make $20 per hour. I know a bunch of people who have done this. My good friend Grant has done it. It's possible, and so because of that, I think I have to give it an A. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. I know this is gonna be like by far the most hated rating on this list, but that's just my opinion, and you can check out thisonlineworld.com for tips on how to maximize your earnings with these apps if you're curious. Alrighty, and so the next side hustle on this list is kind of that general idea of freelancing online. And I love this idea because that's how I make most of my income, or used to before I got a job again. I was a freelance writer. And so I just wanted to scroll down through some figures. This is from Clockify.me. They collected a lot of interesting data and kind of looked at how much freelancers charge. And again, what I find really interesting is the spread in range on this is massive. Like, you have a very small percentage of freelancers charging $50 to $100 per hour, and a lot more kind of in this middle range of like $11 to $25 per hour, which again, still a great rate. Now back to this tier list, the real downside of freelancing online is that it takes time to find your first client. So it's not nearly as fast as making money as charging Lime scooters or hopping on your bike and doing DoorDash. And so the income potential of freelancing is so incredibly high. You can turn it into a career. But the speed to making money is hard, and yes, you can go on Fiverr or Upwork. It's still going to take you probably a few months to kind of get a steadier stream of income. So because of the time to earn, I'm going to put it as a B, but the income potential is what keeps it that high. Like, this is the most lucrative way to make money online, in my opinion, or one of the most lucrative ways. So I'm giving this one a B. Okay guys, and so the next side hustle we're talking about is YouTube. And I thought the best way to really highlight the pros and cons of YouTube was just to hop into my dashboard and to show you guys just an honest look at what the analytics are like these days and what the earnings are like. So you can see the channel's been growing pretty well. So again, thank you guys, for watching and commenting and subscribing and all of that jazz. I really do appreciate it. It's been crazy actually lately. Like, the channel's going up. You can see the views are slowly going up, subscribers are going up. And if you look at earnings, the channel's making, $50, $45, $48 a day kind of thing, kind of just chugging along, and we've passed 15,000 subscribers, so thank you again. This is within the last 28 days though, so I'm going to switch to a lifetime view and kind of show you the path it took to get here. So it's made $17,000 since its inception, and you can see I wasn't monetized pretty much from February when I published my Medium video, and it took me, let's see what month this was when I started making money actually. It looks like that's around June. So it took me like half of a year to get my channel monetized. And really the reason it got monetized was one video popped off. You can see there's kind of been a steady growth here in terms of just publishing videos. Revenue slowly creeps up. But this kind of highlights why YouTube is such a slow burn. Like you might get lucky, you might have viral videos that pop off. Again, you could put in a lot more effort than I have. I really haven't focused on YouTube as much as I should have. I think the income potential is crazy, and like a viral video could change your life. It just takes a lot of time to get started. The costs aren't really that bad. Like you could start filming on your phone with a cheap USB mic. So I don't want costs to dissuade anyone from starting this, but just recognize it's not fast money by any means. And most channels take a very long time to get monetized. So giving that one a C. Okay guys, and so for the final side hustle on this tier list, I had to mention it, is blogging. And blogging is how I make a ton of my income these days as well. It was what I was doing almost full time for a while before I started freelancing and now writing more. And again, I just wanted to hop into my Mediavine dashboard. Mediavine's how I make a lot of my blogging income. And you can see Mediavine's sitting at around, $12,000, $12,700 one month, $11,400, $11,900. This month's on track to do about $10,000 or so. It's made $10,322 in the last 30 days. And so you might see these numbers from other blogging income reports or other bloggers and think blogging is the A or S tier side hustle. It's, the most lucrative thing in the world. And blogging is incredibly lucrative and I love it and I think it's fun. But like YouTube, the process of growing a blog is incredibly slow and it's not fast money. I think the income potential is immense, but I just don't think I can rank it higher than a C because of how long it takes. Again, not expensive to start. You could realistically make decent money within like 6 months to a year and, pay your grocery bills or make, maybe even $1,000, $2,000 extra a month. But the learning curve is steep. It takes work and, dedication. So I think I'm going to give YouTube and blogging that C rating for the side hustle tier list.
All right, guys, well, there you have it. That is my official side hustle tier list for 2022. I hope some of the side hustles were new to you. I hope some of the ones you knew about, I at least explained why they got the ranking they did. And of course, the most fun part of these videos is you're free to disagree. So if there was a ranking on a particular side hustle you really agree with or disagree with, let me know down in the comments because I think that's kind of the fun of these videos. You get to, say, oh, you were wrong about that one or you were totally spot on with that side hustle. And we can chat about it in the comments. Anyways, guys, that does it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. And as always, don't forget to check out thisonlineworld.com for more unique ways to make and save money. I'll catch you guys in the next one.